Snow signals are showing up on both the GFS and the European model, and the cold air behind this is legit. Hi, everybody. I'm Chief Meteorologist Chris Justice, mapping out what could be a wintry wonderland for so many. This GFS run may have been a little bit on the bullish and optimistic side for snow, but I'll unpack how this is showing it and what the European is showing. Folks, if you're new to the channel, please like this video, comment in the comment section where you're watching from, and hit that subscribe button for more snow updates all the way through winter season. My commitment to you is to give you a transparent, accurate forecast. We also like to have a lot of fun on this channel. Folks, I took some heat today from some other meteorologists and the likes of, why are you showing a snow map so many days out? And I get it. I'm a responsible meteorologist. I understand what we should not show, what we should snow. But I mean, when you got the signals showing up, yeah, I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you, hey, yeah, the models are showing this. I'm not going to promise anything. And they'll say, well, that's not responsible. Well, come on. I mean, that's what we're here for. We're here to show the potential. You just got to couch it right. You got to have some fun with it. And folks, you know that you can trust me when it comes to severe weather, tornadoes, hurricanes, whatever. I'm going to keep you posted, but I'm also going to have some fun and show you the fun snow models when they come in and tell you, hey, this is looking less likely or more likely. That's what we do. We're meteorologists. So let's loosen up a little bit and have some fun here. Let's look first at the European model. It is by far the most trusted model that we have. And, these type situations and winter situations, the pattern identification is similar in both of them. And like what we do when we're talking hurricanes, you look for patterns. You can't tell someone 10 days out what's going to happen with a hurricane, just like I can't with snow, certainly not snow. But I can tell you the pattern favors this or pattern favors that. And as we get toward Thanksgiving, the pattern favors cold and wet weather returning to the eastern half of the United States after what will be about a 10-day stretch of above normal temperatures. So here we go into Thanksgiving Day. Looks like we got some rain showing up on the European model Wednesday into Thursday. Now this would indicate we've got some wet weather coming on through, and then behind it some cold air. It starts to get quite chilly Black Friday into Saturday, and that sets the stage for another dip in the jet stream and a subsequent low pressure system. Now if I paused it here and kept it here, this is where some meteorologists would say, stop right there, don't show anything beyond that. That's all we know. And I get it, that is all we know. We know there's a low pressure system there, and we don't know where it's going to go. If it tracks like this, Tennessee's going to get some cold rain. If it tracks like the European showed a couple of runs back, or the GFS showed this last run, you're going to get some snow in Tennessee. It's as simple as that. Just depends on the track, and we don't know it yet, but I'd rather tell you it might snow than not. Here we are in Kentucky, into Illinois, into Indiana and Ohio, getting into some pretty good snow. This would also return to Pennsylvania and New York. You got to get some pretty good snow out of this. This is a decent snow in the European model west of the Appalachian Mountains. I don't even think it gets into the high country of North Carolina in this type situation. It'd be a cold rain with that track, but it would mean some colder air begins to rush in. And that sets the stage for what looks to be a very chilly start to December. A short-lived but intense cold blast. Those are the patterns I think we're going to see. Here's the European with that track. It shows some snow flying around Middle Tennessee, Kentucky, up through the Midwest. I mean, we're talking about a really decent snow showing up here. And, though I've mapped this out all the way to December 3rd, that is la la land in meteorology world. But if you look at the majority of this falls between now and days 8, 9, Friday into Saturday. I mean, that's in the wheelhouse of being possible. Let's show you the GFS. It was a fun run for snow enthusiasts today. It shows that first system coming through Wednesday like the European does, so good model agreement there. So we got pattern identified. One system comes through, second dip in the jet stream comes in like this, and whoa, what is happening here? Well, that's a pronounced dip trough in the jet stream, and that's allowing for some snow to break out across parts of Alabama, Georgia, Tennessee, Kentucky, up through the Midwest, and it just really goes bonkers here. That trough almost turns neutral to negative tilt, and that would allow for the snow to kind of hang out here, and that would be a mess in Tennessee and Kentucky, almost all of Indiana and Ohio, up through Michigan, and then it slides into Pennsylvania, New York. New York actually would get more rain in this situation because of the track of the low. It all depends on the track of the low, and in this GFS model, it goes bonkers. Pushing snow far south is Birmingham. Now, those of you watching in Birmingham, I'm not promising you snow. Never said that, but hey, GFS was a fun run today, but it's all in how you couch it, folks, and I hope you can appreciate that. Leave me a comment if you don't think so, and maybe this isn't the place for you. A YouTube or a Facebook page that dives deep on the weather patterns. That's what we do here. We dive deep on the weather patterns. We show you the different scenarios and what might happen. That's what we do. That's why we do what we do. Okay, here we are, 3 inches in Arkansas. You got a lot of snow. This would be the biggest snow Middle Tennessee's had in a long time. Spent 2 years working in Nashville on TV. It didn't snow hardly at all when I was there. We had more tornadoes than we did snowstorms. Kentucky into Ohio, and Ohio could be bonkers in this model. Now, it's important to note that the latest run of the GFS shifts that back north again, a little bit more like the European. It doesn't have much for the high country of North Carolina, maybe some upslope snow, a lot in West Virginia, 1 to 3 to maybe 5 inches in northern Ohio. Indiana's getting rocked with some pretty good snow here, depending on how this sets up. So is Pennsylvania into New York. So there's still some pretty good snow on the latest run of the GFS. It just shifts the track a little bit. Now for Florida and for all of us, we've got to look out for storms. And yes, as we move forward here, a couple of dips in the jet stream this time of the year, separating warm air, cold air, can lead to some storms. And here we are going into this upcoming week. There's a lot of storm energy here. There's a lot of twisting and turning of the winds aloft, and that can create wind shear, which rotates thunderstorms and causes them to be stronger and taller. So here we are to Tuesday, Wednesday. That one needs to be watched closely. And here we go with a bigger pronounced dip in the jet stream. Yowza, that is pronounced. And compared to the 12Z run that gave snow, it's just tilted differently. And I mean, that is something else if that GFS model were to pay to be true. As we look at the European model, flip it back to the 12Z so we get a full run. It's got that ripple coming in this week. Could have some storms just before Thanksgiving, I think. Then comes that more pronounced dip in the jet stream. Polar vortex is disrupted because of the sudden stratospheric warming. So pieces of the polar vortex dive onto the south, and it stays cold through that first part of December on our anomalies here. So something to watch for storm-wise, too. Bigger picture, you can see that breaking off in here. Big ripple right there, and here comes pieces of the polar vortex just diving on in, one after another. Could there be another one? I think that would be the last one there, and that would mean maybe we're warming things back up, getting toward the second week of December after what starts off cool. All right, here we are. Storm fuel. Yeah, I got maybe a little bit of action going on this Friday. Louisiana, Texas, Arkansas, Mississippi. And this shifts off toward the east. Not much going on Saturday. We rebuild a little bit going into next week. Not anything crazy to write home about. But when you got that jet stream active, I could see Florida getting in on some action. So we look at the overall snow picture. Does definitely help get the snowpack established. You get 2 or 3 of these storms, snowpack's getting established there. And as we look closer in, let's go to Florida, refresh this. So we talked about storms. Let's talk about the lightning density. Got some storms trying to fire up here across southern Mississippi, southern Alabama, into the panhandle of Florida. Could you have a few thunderstorms? It would happen on Friday night. I think maybe because it's going into Friday night. PCB, you're not getting much action. And then going into Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, here we are now, Thanksgiving week. Got some lightning possible in South Georgia on Wednesday. Then some lightning trying to crop up here. This could be a stormy situation here for Thanksgiving evening. Could there be some thunder and lightning in Ocala, in Sarasota, and Tampa northbound through the Big Bend region, Cedar Key, up through Panama City Beach, Mexico Beach? We could see it. That would be Thanksgiving Day. And if that front stalls or stays slow, Black Friday could be stormy across much of Florida. Lightning returning. This is lightning density, so it would be quite a bit of lightning being possible on some of those storms, and you'd stay quite active. While everybody's cooling down north of you, you still got some warm air holding on. So a couple of days of lightning possible. It'd be stormy across Florida for Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, following Thanksgiving. Although you need the rain in some locations, the southeast, it just has been so dry. Models aren't showing much for Florida. If you get some storms, that would be the only thing that gives you some decent rain. Other than that, we are dry and we are warm. 6 to 10 day outlook looks like this. Let's see if we can flip this thing around and go to CPC 8 to 14 day. Notice the cold air that's bottling up back toward the north right here. That's what's going to dive to the south and give us a better chance at seeing some colder air diving on in. So Folks, that's the way things are shaken right now. Please let me know in the comment section where you're watching from. And folks, if you're new to the channel, I hope you appreciate this no-nonsense approach to weather. I'm not going to hide anything for you. I'm going to shoot you straight. If I see something that looks fun or like we could see a little bit of snow or a little bit of action or storm, I'm going to be quick to tell you about it. I'm also going to not hype anything. I'm going to call it like I see it. Tell you what I see when I see it, kind of thing. So if you have a question about that, if you have a comment, leave it right here. I'd love to know where you're watching from. I'd love to know what your thoughts are on said activity. And do you want to see some snow? Are you traveling? If so, where are you traveling to? We're staying right here. I'll be working. I like to go see family, but I'm blessed to be near my wife's family and my family. So we get to be close to home and still get to work so that my team can take off. That's what's good about it, is I still get to enjoy family time while my team gets to travel to see their family, which most of them are from out of town. Okay, Hope says, hi, Chris. Hope all is well with you and your family. Thank you so much for what you do. Got 95 watching here. Hey, Simpsonville, I love your extended forecast. Glenda, thank you so much. It's helpful to have a possible look ahead that may come. I appreciate you. Glenda. Glenda, my grandmother's name was Glenda. And, I can attribute probably my meteorological career to her. She got me very interested in snow from a very young age, and we'd always have this thing where we call each other when it would snow. She has since passed, and every time I see the first snowflake, I think about her and wish I could call her. You know what I mean? Ann says, hi, Chris. I'm watching you from Estill, South Carolina. I love you. You're so informative. Hey, Ann, thank you so much. I say that right. I've seen that so many times. I know exactly where you're at on a map. I passed by there. Love eating in Walterboro. Estill. I think I'm pretty sure I said it right. Lumberton. Thank you for what you're doing. Hey, Chris, watching from Livonia. You've been my weather source for many years. I no longer watch TV and get all my updates from your YouTube. Thanks for all that you do. God bless you. Thank you so much for that, Lori. Paul, Mike, I am watching from Boiling Springs, South Carolina. I really enjoy your current and long-term winter weather forecasting. Best in the area. Hey, thank you so much. Mike, watching from Myrtle Beach. Hi, Mike. Brian down here in Cordell checking in. Personally, I'm glad the colder temperatures are well north of us, especially as I come out from the hospital the weekend after Thanksgiving from knee replacement. However, we do need the rain down here pretty bad. It's getting dusty. Oh, I hope the knee replacement goes well for you, Brian. We'll be saying a prayer for you for that. And you don't want it to be too cold when you're getting out and about, right? You gotta be walking on it, rehabbing it. All right, Hounsfield, New York, 10 miles southwest of Watertown, New York, closer to Sackett's Harbor, right on Lake Ontario. Woo! You're about to get some good stuff. I'll be tracking it for you all winter long for you. Northeastern Kansas in the house. Hi, Barb. I live in the panhandle of Florida. Snow, go away. Please don't come again another day in Florida. Florida's had more snow than me in Greenville, South Carolina. Can tell you that. Good morning, Mike and Franklin, North Carolina. Moxville's in the house. Moore, South Carolina checking in. From Puerto Rico, wanting to know what's coming up in reference to the weather. Got my family in Jacksonville. Maybe a little bit of cold weather. Can't buy a drop of rain in Jacksonville right now, but other than that, things are really doing all right. Howdy from Hickory. Got Nevada, USA in the house. Hi, Chris from Jamestown, North Carolina, near Greensboro. Oakfield, Maine here. Got a few inches of snow. Can we just go to spring now? Right. I feel you there. Got a long winter ahead, but we'll keep you posted. Warm up in New Hampshire. It's average this week, lows in the 20s, wind gusts 30 to 40. Yeah, I mean, it's so crazy that most of the East Coast is warm right now, with the exception of the Northeast. I mean, you've been so brutal. We'll keep you posted. Is Texas going to be freezing this winter? Is Texas going to get cold before Thanksgiving? Yes, you are. It looks like Thanksgiving Day, to be exact. Boonville, North Carolina. Hi, Chris. Pensacola here. Another warm day outside, 70s to low 80s. We're hoping for mild temperatures. There are 2 palm trees that barely survived the snow last winter and the recent night's frost. They're not looking that healthy. We don't want them to die, but if they get snow this year as a repeated frost, I believe they'll be lost. Anyhow, happy Thanksgiving week. Love your forecast. You're number 1 in our books. Regards, Mark. Hey, Mark. That means a lot to me. Thank you so much. I have a couple of windmill palms in my yard here in South Carolina, and that's the only way I can do it. The one time it's tested, they told me if it gets down near zero, the windmills won't make it. we got to, I think, 3 or 4 degrees, and I wasn't going to mess with it. I had some old Christmas lights, the non-LED kind, and wrapped them around it just as much as I could, each one, and then cover them with a blanket. Probably a fire hazard, maybe, I don't know. But it survived. They all survived, whereas I saw some of my neighbors, similar windmills, not so lucky. Yeah, I love my palms. They're the best. I like to think I'm in Florida sometimes when I'm looking out at it. It's still cold up here. I think we had 2 thunderstorms pass in New Hampshire, 5 heat waves. Hi, I'm from Fletcher, Valdez, North Carolina, Taylor, South Carolina, Beaufort, South Carolina. Hoping for a snowstorm in the Charlotte area. Got Salem in the house these bitterly cold days. All these clickbaiters, temps get back to normal at the end of the month. Let's not get carried away. Brah. David. YouTube always saves them for last. I'm sure there's going to be something on this one. Folks, let me know where you're watching from right now. You know the drill. Please share this with your family and friends. Like the video so more people can see. And we'll have another conversation again tomorrow. Hope you guys have a blessed day. Thanks for being a part of my day.